And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Wisdom Transmissions Gathering Live. Hope you're all doing well on this Wednesday. So just a reminder to everybody that there will not be a signpost this week. Okay, I'm just basically tackling a pile of work, right? I got about a dozen juggling balls in the air and just trying to keep them all together. There's just been a lot of intensities happening this week, and I have to kind of concentrate on getting some stuff done tomorrow morning, so I will not be available to do the signposts tomorrow, but again, it will be coming back next week. Okay, so we just have Wisdom Transmissions Gathering for this week. Hope that is okay with everybody. Right, if I wasn't so busy, I would certainly have some time to do signposts, but again, just so much is happening. There's RAYD8, there's AetherX Academy, there's sessions, there's just getting things done here locally as well too. So it's a big pile of work. So I'm just trying to get everything done all together. I feel like I'm wearing a dozen different hats on my head. So just trying to get all this stuff all caught up with. So again, next week, next Thursday, I'll be back with Signpost Live. So again, we're going to have a really great broadcast today here on Wisdom Transmissions. So again, we're going to be taking Q&A here in a little while. I'm going to be bringing in Adronis here very shortly. He's going to be sharing a transmission. And at the very end of the broadcast, we're going to do a special earth meditation. Okay, so again, be an earth meditation and have some beautiful, loving energies for the earth that we will share as a group. Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and get started with some announcements.
Source Energy enhanced products to repair and rejuvenate the body. From the power of light to crystals to bed kits, card decks, and more. View our free samples, tutorials, and testimonials on our website, AetherX.co.
Okay, and I'm just getting my screen here ready. So we got some, oops, that's not the right one. Let me try that again. Still getting used to this program. Okay, so let's go to application, and there we go. That's the right one. Okay, let's try that again. So again, we have the brand new product here, which is the t-shirt. So this is available now, okay? So this is known as the AetherX Rainbow t-shirt. That's RAYNBOW. And it's modeled right after RAYD8. Okay, so this is a medium size that I'm holding up. I'm actually an extra large, but it was the one I wanted to grab very quickly before coming on the air. And that is available right now. So we have them in extra small, we have them in small, we have them in medium, large, extra large, and 2XL also. So if you go to AetherX.co, you'll find them there. We also have a 20% off all products store-wide. So the 20% off is going to be staying around for quite a while. Okay, so it's going to be remaining on the website until further notice. But everything on the website, including the Source massage mats, are always going to be 20% off. Okay. So 20% off will be the discount that will remain on AetherX for the foreseeable future. Okay, so I don't really have any plans to take it off or anything like that. So everything will always be 20% off, with the exception of the healing code cards, the AetherX card decks here, the body deck, the energy deck, the mind deck, and they basically have a 30% off deal. Okay, so that basically supersedes the 20% off, and you get 30% off. So no, the 20% is not applied to the card decks, because they have their own special 30% off. So you can get a bundle with all physical card decks, so the printed decks, and you can also get a bundle with the digital editions as well too. Okay, all 30% off. So this is the newest arrival. This is the Rainbow 100% cotton source charge t-shirt. Okay, so again, you can look at all the benefits it has. It does not need instructions. Everything is pretty much already activated and amplified to the highest degree. All you need to do is just put it on when you get it in the mail. Okay, so you can read through here, look at all of its benefits that it has, the sizes that are available. It is in a white t-shirt. Okay, it's a white cotton t-shirt. There are no other colors available, but I'm going to be making some more different t-shirts. This is just the beginning of a new rollout. I'm going to be printing out the t-shirts personally. Some new t-shirts are going to be coming. They will be grayscale, but they're going to look really, really amazing, right? I have a laser engraver that's coming, and I'm going to be printing out t-shirts personally. And there's going to be some new t-shirts coming together that will also have similar qualities to what we're seeing here with the rainbow color t-shirt. So again, the rainbow one is currently our colored t-shirt, but the ones that will be coming here very soon will be grayscale. All right, so again, looking forward to that. So you can check that out on AetherX.co. And we have the AetherX Academy. So I've had quite a few of you ask me, Brad, when is the AetherX Academy going to open up again? I really want to take the student training. Well, it is available right now. So for those of you who have asked for the AetherX Academy to be part of the student training, it will be available for you. I was originally going to do an introduction this Saturday, but not really going to be able to do it. So we're going to basically move it to the Saturday after next. Okay. So the Saturday after next, which is the 11th, May 11th, will be our introductory class for those who are signing up for the student training. Okay. All you have to do to sign up for the student training is just click right here. Okay. So you go to the student training. Like I said, it's $77 per month for 6 months. I don't know what that's popping up. $77 a month for 6 monthly payments. After that, you get everything contained in the course, right? So you get access to course materials. You get weekly live Zoom classes with my trained teachers and coaches. I come on a monthly basis, okay? Access to Telegram and free coach tutoring and classes, access to Zoom class video recordings, unlimited access to all 6 module class content after the 6-month completion through membership. So again, you can just sign up through here. I've had a lot of you ask me when you can be a student. Now is the time. Okay, so everything is open for you guys to check out in being a student of the AetherX Academy, because there's a lot of things that you're going to be learning that I do not teach on my YouTube channel. So again, take advantage of it. It's available now. Okay, so we have the RAYD8app.com website here. Now, again, if you guys are not aware, that RAYD8 is available on both the Apple Store and it is available on Google Play. Okay. We also have the browser app campaign here, which is hosted on GoFundMe, which is right here, which means we're almost at our goal. We're at $4,289, and all of this is going towards the creation of the browser app. So what the browser app is that you'll be able to log on to the website, and you'll be able to use RAYD8, both the free version and the premium version that you purchase. For example, if you've purchased the premium version through the mobile app, okay, whether that's Apple Store or whether that's Google Play, it will be cross-compatible, right? So if you've purchased through the mobile app, you'll be able to log on to the browser and you'll be able to use the premium version without having to pay for it again, okay? So for those of you who have donated, thank you very much, but you guys will have a choice. For those who have donated who have not already purchased the premium version, you can use that perk through the campaign to either get the premium version for yourself, or you can gift the premium version to a friend or family member of yours. Okay, so that will be an option. Once we get to the $5,000 goal, I'll be sending everybody an online form, and then you can basically choose through the form about what you would like to do with your perk, either giving it to yourself or giving it to someone else. Okay, so it's what I call paying it forward. So that again is available. So again, we're almost at that level. Again, thank you again, everybody, for the donations. It's really appreciated. We're ready to get things rolling here with the browser app. We're actually going to start today. Okay. So again, we pretty much have most of the funding that we need right now. I'm basically paying the other $5,000, right? So this is telling me that this is your shared app as well too. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how well it's going to just affect everybody. Like I said, being able to have this on practically every device, from mobile, tablet, PC, Mac, laptop, and TV, or smart TV, okay? You'll be able to have RAYD8 on all of them, which is going to be awesome. And of course, we have RAYD8 REGEN Centers. So again, if anyone is here in the Lower Mainland of BC, or if you guys are looking to visit the Lower Mainland of BC, specifically Langley, which is where the RAYD8 REGEN Center is located, you can come and pay us a visit. I already have a person who's coming all the way from Edmonton who's going to be paying a visit to me, I think, next week. So that's a dedicated person. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them 2 hours free just for that dedicated drive, rather than just the 1 hour free. So again, if you guys are in Vancouver, if you're in New Westminster, if you're in Burnaby, if you're in North Vancouver, if you're in Richmond, if you're in Delta, if you're in Chilliwack, if you're in Hope, if you're in Abbotsford, right? All of these areas that are surrounding Langley, you're in Surrey, come check us out, right? You can book a free 1 hour immersive session for first-time clients. All you do is you click this button, right? So you go to RAYD8 REGEN, click that button. get a free 1-hour session. I'm already starting to get quite a few clients coming into the center here. It's great. Everybody has left happy, right? When we're looking at the RAYD8 REGEN technology, we are looking at the industrial technology of RAYD8. This is not what you see on the app. The app is the compact personal version, right? And it's powerful. But when you go and you check out RAYD8 REGEN, that is the industrial strength technology. That is the technology that stretches 1.62 miles, okay? So basically with the premium version on your phone, that stretches out 0.45 miles. Whereas RAYD8 REGEN technology stretches out 1.62 miles, okay? So again, it offers a lot of coverage. It's extremely powerful. You're just getting bathed in this scalar. You're getting bathed in biomagnetism. You're getting bathed in frequencies. And most important of all, this is something that businesses can adopt, right? You can license RAYD8 REGEN, okay? So it's all here. People are wondering, Brad, how can I sign up to license RAYD8 REGEN? You click on the nav button, guys. Focus on the nav bar here. License RAYD8 REGEN right here. Read all of this. Just go all the way down to the bottom, and you can see apply now, okay? And all apply now is just a simple form that you fill out and give a little bit of information about your business, and then I start reviewing applications. We already have 5 other centers in development right now. We have one in Cambodia that's in development. We have one in New Zealand that is in development. We have one that is in Israel that is in development. We have another one here in Vancouver Island that's going to be in development. We have another one in Silver City, New Mexico that's going to be in development. I already have 5 commercial owners who have already signed up for RAYD8 REGEN. Okay, so we're looking to get a lot more. Okay, so people have already started to do this. They're starting to see the power of RAYD8 REGEN. They're seeing how effective this is. They're seeing what it's doing to them through the app. And guys, the app is just the itty bitty mini compact version. Remember what happens when you have RAYD8 REGEN. You're bathing in this energy. You're bathing in this light, and it's incredible. I'm going down there every single night just to work with, just to have REGEN there, and it's an incredible, wonderful feeling. I can't describe it. You have to feel it for yourself. And for you to feel it yourself, be a commercial owner, get this in your business. If you have a healing center, here's the opportunity to license RAYD8 REGEN, right? Don't hesitate. This is something that can be an incredible benefit for your business, right? It's something that, again, that you're licensing. You're not creating a franchise. You're just licensing the video software. And I'm showing you the equipment that you use to put it together. Through the members area, it is going to be one of the best investments you'll ever put forward. If you do not have a center, talk to somebody who does. Show them RAYD8, right? Put it on your phone. Say, here you go, try this, right? Just download it on your phone. Give it a try, okay? And you'll see exactly how amazing it is, truly. All right, so those are the announcements for today. And we're going to go ahead and move on now and get into an Adronis transmission. I'm not too sure what Adronis is going to be discussing today. I'm going to leave it to him for him to come through and share. Okay, I'm going to take that down. And then afterwards, we'll come back and we will get into questions. And then after questions, we will have a guided earth meditation. Okay, guided earth healing meditation for everyone. So I will go ahead and take a moment to bring Adronis in, and then we'll get started. Here we go. Tera. Soul Star. Sirius. Adronis. we are here. At this time, we bid you greetings and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who are tuning in to this broadcast being brought forward through your internet collective consciousness. What we'd like all of you to do at this time is simply allow yourselves to get relaxed, get comfortable, and tune in to the vibrations of Sirius so that you may synchronize, harmonize, and align to all of the information that we have to share. Also understand that all of the information that we shall provide today is simply that of our perspective, our point of view. For all knowledge, all information, all creation itself resides within your very hearts, beings, and souls. In this interaction today, through this transmission, we will speak to you on the topic of batten down the hatches. It is now time. Well, Adronis, what do you mean by that? It is now time for humanity to begin the phase of taking back their power. And that is what's going to be heating up. Just as you would understand your element on your stove, that when you turn on the flame and the stove now starts to heat up and get more intense and get more intense and get more fire behind it so that you can cook that delightful meal, while things are now going to start heating up. It is now time for all of the work that many of you have been doing throughout all of these past years to be put into effect now. Because you are now going to be noticing a very strong intensity that will wave all across the planet, where every single country on your planet will be affected by it. Which means there will be, as you would say, a breaking point, a boiling point. Not just a boiling point, but a boiling point to where everything is now starting to run over. And you are going to be experiencing that now between the times of your March, going all the way up into your times of August, and even into your early September. This is going to be an intense spring, an intense summer. There are going to be, again, more and more, shall we say, testings of yourself, trials of yourself, which is much more appropriate here, with what you are going to be seeing throughout your world. Not just through the idea of your politics, not just through the ideas of your government, not just through the idea of your financial matters, but through the matters of yourselves, through the matters of what you are seeing through your family, through the matters of what you are seeing through your friends, through what you are seeing through your societies, through what you are seeing, yes, through appointed leadership, through what you are seeing, yes, through financial matters, yes, through governmental matters, but it is all going to escalate. You are taking yourself to the next tier of intensity. And this is all part and parcel of helping yourselves stand up more, so that you are again seeing exactly what type of life you want to direct yourself towards. Is it going to be a life where you will feel that you are still at the mercy of others and their demands of you? Or is it going to be a life where you are now standing empowered on your own, knowing exactly what is best for you because you are living through the heart? Through these many years of our transmissions with you, we have done what we have been able to do to share with you the importance of going within, the importance of coming into your center, the importance of listening to your heart, the importance of being able to hear that quiet inner voice guide you, that voice that is not even a voice, and being able to guide you and assist you and help you in these tidal waves of events that would come. For all of you to which we have interacted with throughout the many years, we ask you now to take all of that sharing, all of that knowledge that we have imparted upon you, and apply it now, because you will need it between now and these next several months, moving up into the time of your late summer and even into your early fall. You are going to be witnessing transformations on your planet that are going to be extremely intense. It's not just the idea of one particular subject that's happening here, but multitudes. Multitudes where people are concerned about war. Multitudes where people are concerned about their finances. Multitudes about people concerning about their banking. Multitudes pertaining to people with their education. Multitudes pertaining to the idea of their career and jobs. Multitudes pertaining to transportation. Multitudes pertaining to living, to household. Multitudes pertaining to family interaction, friend interaction, interaction with others. Everything is going to get impacted. We don't really have one big major nugget for you because all of these are major nuggets. It's now going to start stepping up. Why? Because you are nearing the end of the span of change. And you're now starting to move next year into 2025, which will be the Genesis year of the span of renewal. So again, as we've talked about, the winter solstice this year represents an inverted winter solstice. And you are now coming into the second half, approximately, of moving into that time where everything's going to be shaken up. Everything is going to be jolted. Everything is basically going to have seismic tremors of intensity. We're not talking about earth changes, although there will be certain earth changes that will apply. But we're talking about a shakeup here. We're talking about a tremor. And this tremor is going to impact all forms of systems on your planet. That is going to be taking place now and within the next several months to come. This is what we're talking about pertaining to a major event, but rather we would say events leading up into something quite major that will be quite undeniable. There will be involvement of what you would know as certain extraterrestrial sightings that will be taking place. We feel that in a sense, it would be quite strong around the time of your summer. All right. So again, moving a little bit past your late spring and moving much more into your summer, you may start to see again a great deal more of sightings. And these sightings basically represent messages. When they happen, we will tell you more about it. But you will see them in various areas of your planet. You will find them around Mexico. You will find them specifically around the east area of your United States. You will also find them around areas of Europe, around your areas of England. You may also find them again more around areas of your southern Africa, of your northern Africa. You may also start to feel them around the coasts of your Australia region, New Zealand regions, China as well, and possibly even in certain areas of Russia. Not all at once, but sporadically, just pertaining to messages. And when those ones become prominent, we will give you a little bit more information as they arise. But that is, as we would say, the current plan as it resides right now. So this is why we are saying batten down the hatches. Batten down the hatches and let yourselves move into what you have learned from us. Because this is indeed the crucial time that is taking place upon your planet where your heart will be your greatest ally, where your intuition will be your greatest companion, where many of you may even start to panic about certain things. There's no need. Nonetheless, you will listen to these things. You will hear these things from others. You may see these things on your television or through your internet, and some of you may start to get worried. And again, as we stated, listen to the heartbeat. Listen to the rhythm of yourself. Realize that what you are going to see, what you are going to hear, a lot of it will represent the nature of scarcity tactics rather than actuality. This is what we're, again, getting you prepared for, because your late spring into your summer and moving a little bit more into the early fall is going to be one strong roller coaster ride. And all of you are on the roller coaster. You can't get off it. You may want to get off it, but you can't, because this is something that you need to ride through. Remember what you have learned. Remember who you are. Remember what is available to you. It's this, and it's this right here in the center, because a lot of things are going to be heating up this summer. All right. We thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction, and we will now begin with your question and answer period. One moment, please. Okay. Wow. That's a big announcement from Adronis. So again, looks like we have quite an intense late spring, summer, and early fall to look forward to. So like I said, the time where people are going to be taking their power back. So I mean, it's basically time, right? So many of us have asked for this for so many years, where the idea is that I've had enough. Let's shake things up. Let's watch all of these things crumble to the ground, and let's start living together as one fair, just, harmonized society. And in order for us to get there, we have to trudge through the darkness. We have to go through all this mud and grime and debris and filth, and we have to see it for what it is, and therefore letting it go, bringing new things into the limelight now, and letting these old things fall apart, right? Not a single stone is being left unturned. It is going to turn, and new things are going to awaken. But like I said, all it really requires is the cooperation of many. And as I've said before too, is that doesn't even involve like you guys having to go out into the streets and form into millions and basically protest. All it requires is your thought, right? Your thought that leads into your action. It's thought action, right? No, I'm not going to have any participation whatsoever in anything that feels dystopian, in anything that feels totalitarianism, in anything that represents dictatorships, in anything that represents enforcement of this kind. I am going to shun it. I am going to completely throw it away. That's it. That's all we need to do by the millions, right? And our action is basically saying that we're committing to that thought. No, I'm not going to involve myself with this. And that's your action that you're playing out. And that, again, is planting millions and millions or even billions of seeds that is going to make the difference. That's going to change everything on this planet, just as we've talked about many times before. Okay? All right, guys, so let's go ahead and move on into the comments. I believe we do have some, we have a donation here from Z-Man. So again, guys, if you want to leave a donation, that again is putting your question in priority sequence. So I will be getting to those questions first. Otherwise, after the donations, I will be going through the list from top to bottom for a little bit of time, and then we're going to be doing a healing earth meditation. Okay. All right. So this one here is from Z-Man. Z-Man, thank you very much for your donation. Really appreciate that. Z-Man says, please ask Adronis, are tantric semenless orgasms beneficial, or do they drain life forces well? Is celibacy what we strive for to retain sexual energy? Well, Z-Man, Adronis has already talked about this. Okay. And I'm basically just giving you information about what he's shared. If you are basically retaining semen, then what you're doing is you're bringing yourself into greater longevity of being. Okay. An orgasm itself is not the exact same thing as semen ejaculation. Okay. And I'm not trying to be too graphic with people, but like I said, this is the question here. An orgasm is very, very different. An orgasm is more like a pulse. Okay. So what you're doing is you're getting a sexual orgasmic pulse. Okay. Now you basically have to ask yourself what you plan to do with your sexual energy when it arises. Okay. If those of you in that sense who feel that you have intense sexual rushes, there's really only two things you can do. Number one, act on it and release it. Number two, transmute it. Okay. This is not something that you can ignore. This is not something that you try to put on the wayside, because that's just going to build up later and it's going to be terrible. Okay. So the whole idea here is that if you're suggesting that the idea of ejaculation is draining life force, it's not really draining life force. That's not really the idea in that sense. What it's doing is that, like I said, it's what you do with that energy, right? If you're using that energy for the co-creation and procreation of another life, that's not a draining of a life force. Okay, so draining is not the right word here. It expends life force. Yes, that again is why the male seed in that sense needs to be preserved, right? So I've certainly have had troubles with that in the past, where I would basically do a lot of self-pleasuring, right? Don't really do that anymore, but that certainly was my way in the past, because I certainly grew up with a lot of that stuff and had to really kind of clean up my act with it. Okay. So when you're looking at the nature of an orgasm, think of it as the sexual pulse. But when you are basically continuing to, I would say, let it all out, again and again and over and over and over again, then that is basically causing an expense. Okay, you have to kind of look at your prenatal life force as a bank account, right? And you only have a certain amount of funds within that bank account. And if you continue to expend and expend and expend and expend, then that account is going to be running dry pretty quickly. Okay. But as I've also talked about, that it really comes down to two things to bring yourself into a greater state of longevity. Number one is energetic nourishment. Number two is the reduction of your breath. Energetic nourishment includes the reduction of semen altogether. Okay. So I would not consider it to be a drain. Like I said, it's an expenditure. Now, there are people in that sense who do drain it because they're completely in a state of lust and carnal desire. Okay. So what I'm sharing with you is very much like what Adronis has shared with me throughout these topics, because he's talked about it quite extensively. Okay. Celibacy is not what you strive for. It's not about celibacy. Okay. Celibacy is basically a religion. Okay. Because again, a lot of people will go into the state of celibacy and thinking, okay, I need to withdraw myself. I need to kind of put a clamp down on my sexual energy. And that's not what we're doing, right? Celibacy, if you decide to do it, it's a personal choice in that sense. But if we're basically trying to force celibacy upon ourselves, you might as well join up with a religion. Okay. Because again, you're getting conditions, you're getting terms on this idea of trying to completely and totally cut off your expression of sexual energy. Okay. So your sexual energy is not some horrible thing. It was given to you for a reason, but it was given to the idea of being able to work and managing it. You can also utilize it for the means of transmutation. So when you feel that rush of sexual energy, tune into it. And basically, it's like you're creating a funnel up your body. And now you may want to put some in your solar plexus. You may want to put some of that energy in your heart. You may want to put that energy in your lungs. You may want to put that energy in your liver. You may want to put that energy in your kidneys or your adrenals. You may want to put that energy up into the brain. Okay. All you're doing is you're drawing a line. You're just drawing a line. It's acting like a tube. And through the breath, you are guiding that sexual energy into the organs, right? You can also put it into the chakra centers. You can also put it into your acupuncture meridians. Okay. You can put it into energy systems. So what it is really the idea of that you need to be responsible with the idea of your sexual energy. And you have to see exactly what kind of person you are. Are you seeing the idea that you're just building up sexual energy and you got to release it all the time, every time it comes up, because it's going to be coming up quite a bit, right? And if that's the kind of person you are, then that's the decisions that you make. But you also have to make the decision of saying that if I do have a lot of this sexual energy rush, am I able to transmute it? Of course you can. And it all just comes through the breath, right? It's just breathing in, putting it into the heart, letting it out slowly, and feeling like the heart is just radiating that sexual energy that now becomes vital energy. You're turning sexual energy into vital energy. You're turning sexual energy into creative energy. Okay, sexual energy is completely and totally transmutable. And so you're able to transmute it into any component of your body that you wish, just by drawing a line and just by doing that delicate breathing, right? Breathing in, breathing out very, very slowly, just feeling like that sexual energy is just pulsing and radiating out through the organ, and doing that several times, maybe 5 times, 10 times, 15 times, okay? And maybe you want to put it in several different organs. So whenever you're feeling that urge of sexual excitation, that's where you're drawing the lines. This is exactly what I do, right? Draw the line, maybe I'll put it in the heart. I'll draw the line, I'll put it in the solar plexus. I'll draw the line, I'll put it in the navel. Draw the line, I'll put it up in the brain. And I'll just start doing that subtle breathing, right? Doing that several times until I feel like that sexual energy itself is being settled down, right? You're taking tidal waves and you're turning it into relaxing calmness of the ocean, okay? That's what you're doing. Breathing in, breathing out subtly, letting the organ radiate that energy, right? You're not just containing it in, you're letting it radiate that energy. And before you know it, after doing it just for a few minutes, that sexual excitation is gone because you've transmuted the energy. So rather than feeling that you need to force yourself to retain semen and basically do semen retention, which is in a way quite ridiculous. Okay, it's not about trying to ignore it. That's what a lot of guys do, is they'll try to ignore it. They'll try to do something else, and all this energy, this rush is coming in, and they won't do anything with it, and they'll try to ignore it, and that is disastrous. That is basically about to sit on a powder keg that's going to explode. It's like the idea where you feel like you're missing meals, right? You do like the yo-yo, and you miss meals, and then there's going to be a day where you're just so incredibly indulgent, you just go crazy. Okay. Well, it's the exact same thing about you trying to do semen retention, which really is just a ridiculous concept altogether, right? It's not about semen retention. It's about the idea of either semen release or it's semen transmutation. There's no semen retention here because you're sitting on a powder keg ready to go off. And at some particular point, it's going to flip over. And before you know it, you're probably doing all kinds of horrible stuff with your sexual energy. Okay. So that's not how you resolve the problem. Throw away anything that tells you about semen retention because it's stupidness, right? It's about either the idea that you're doing semen release or you're doing semen transmutation. One of those two. There is no retention. Retention is a powder keg ready to go off, right? So again, guys, it's one of those internet fads. It's one of these things. We get so much from the internet. And it's like I said, guys, 90 to 95% of what you read on the internet is bullshit, right? People just do it. So, okay, well, I've been able to retain my semen and I'm doing semen retention. Okay, well, I'll count the days until the powder keg goes off and you just start going crazy with it because you're not transmuting the energy. You're not releasing the energy. You're just sitting on it and you're sitting on a powder keg, right? Ready to blow up. And that is going to be disastrous for you. That's like you just skipping dinners, skipping meals, skipping food until that yo-yo now starts to come back down again. And then you're just hoarding and you're indulging because the same thing is going to happen to you with an attack of carnal lust until you learn to be responsible with your sexual energy. That's what it takes. You either release it or you transmute it. There's your two choices. Whatever you do, well, that's based upon your behavior. Okay? That's based upon you. So thank you, Z-Man, for your question. We will go ahead now and move on to other questions. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so a believer here, I see your question here about eczema. Okay. Now, it all depends on your situation because I haven't talked to you or anything of that. And I don't know what your condition is altogether with that. You said you've used the healing cards, but unfortunately my condition heals and then breaks out again. Okay, so basically in that sense is that you're not getting into the underlying issue. And really what this has to do is with shaming. This is all about personal shaming. Okay, so anything that relates to the nature of physical, bodily shame, that's something that needs to be looked into. Okay, that's the emotional and mental level. The physical level, we need to start clearing out the toxins, metals, viruses, bacteria, and pathogens within the body. So we're approaching this both on a physical level and an emotional, mental level. Okay, clear out the nature of shame within yourself, right? Like I said, can you let this go? Remember certain occurrences within your life that represented the nature of personal shaming. Okay, whenever we're having eczema, whenever we're having acne, whenever we're having psoriasis, the mental and emotional cause to that is shame. It's physical shame, it's bodily shame. Okay, and we need to go back. We look in the mirror and we just say, I hate you. I hate the way this body looks. I hate the way I look here. I hate that people are shaming me and all that. And that's exactly what we need to heal. Okay, so that's the mental and emotional level. Physical level, we need to clear out the toxins. So again, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables. If you're working with the AetherX card decks, heavy metal eliminator, biotoxin eliminator. Okay, working together with the liver. Okay, clearing out the liver. So again, working and getting all of that metal out of the body. We also want to work with the virus eliminator. Okay, we want to work with the bacteria eliminator. What I would also suggest is working with RAYD8. Okay, even if you're just working with the free version, have RAYD8 with you. Set intentions. One of the things you guys should be doing is if you're working with RAYD8, whether it's the free version or whether it's the premium version, number one, your breath work. Okay, heart rate variability, 4 seconds in through the nose, 6 seconds out through the nose, doing that about 5 to 10 times. After that, set your heart-based intention, set your sankalpa. Okay, what do you want radiate to do for you? What do you want spirit to do for you? Because spirit is coming through radiate, right? So what is it that you want spirit to do for you? Help to clear away the eczema, help to clear away toxins, help to clear away viruses, help to clear away bacteria, help to clear away all of the lack of integrity contained within my organs, flushing it out of the body entirely. Great. Set your intention. Say it again a second time. Say it again a third time, right? And stick with it and just continue to do it. Do not feel like this is just a one-hit wonder, guys. When you're working with the cards, when you're working with Radiate, you continue to do it until you're seeing improvement, right? Some of you can recover quickly. Some of you cannot, right? Because there's still just a lot of roughage in the way. There's still a lot of contamination and taintedness, like I said, on a mental and emotional level. That is higher above than physical. Physical is down here. We do want to take care of physical matters, yes. But then we have the emotional level. Then we have the mental level, okay? You need to work together with your mental and emotional levels. If you are noticing again that your skin is breaking out, you have bad acne, you have psoriasis, you have eczema, you have bad rashes, a lot of this comes down to personal shame. This is all about shaming, okay? So again, all of this needs to be cleared out. You need to look at occurrences within your life to where you felt those situations were quite intense and just start breathing in and breathing out, right? Start Om chanting directly into those occurrences. Om chant, Om chant, Om chant, just like I've taught you guys through the prana transmission technique, right? You're Om chanting into them. And as you do that and you soften everything, you ask yourself the question, can I let this go? Can I let this go? And you just keep asking yourself the question. You repeat with your breath work, you repeat with your Om chanting, and then you go back to the question again. Can I let this go? Yes, I can. Good. That's your inner work, my friends. Okay. What you're surrendering to is the tension. Okay. You don't ever have to surrender to spirit. I hear gurus and teachers talking about that all the time. Surrender to spirit. You don't need to surrender to spirit. Spirit's not what you need to surrender to. What you need to surrender to is your tensions. You need to surrender to what you are resisting. Your resistance needs the surrender. You don't need to surrender to peace because there's no tension in peace. There's no tension in love. There's no tension in the soul. There's no tension in spirit, right? It all comes down to the surrendering of your tensions, okay? So I get that. Oh, just surrender to the soul. Why would I need to surrender to the soul? The soul is not tense. The soul is not tension. The soul is not ego, okay? It's everything that represents that resistance. It's everything that represents that tension. And it's those tensions that we have physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. Those tensions are what needs to be surrendered to, meaning that we're letting it go. We're not putting up a fight. We're not trying to hold a sword and a shield. We're dropping it all down because that's what's maintaining your misery and your suffering. By thinking you need to pick up a weapon and you need to combat your tensions, you're just going to get more tense. How could picking up a weapon make you liberated from the idea of a tension that is warlike? You see how that's pretty ridiculous? Okay. So what you're doing is you're learning to surrender to the tensions that you're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. Okay. You start doing that, everything starts to clear. Okay. Just by even working with the higher levels of your being, which follow the emotional and mental categories, you're going to notice that your body is going to follow suit. Why? Because I've done this, right? There's times where I've had outbreaks as well too, and I look at it, and I have had a past as well too with body shaming, right? I have had problems with this body, certainly, and I've had body shaming, and I have had, again, personal rejection with all of that. And as soon as I start letting that go, I notice the complexion changes. Okay, it's not to say you don't eat well. You do eat well. You are taking care of yourself, and you are clearing away toxins, and you are clearing out metals and viruses and pathogens and bacteria and all of that stuff that's detrimental to your body. You're absolutely doing that. But again, you're also learning to work from the higher level, and you're working from the summit, right? Like I said, if you start working together with the summit, you're moving higher out of that gradient, and now you're standing at the top of the mountain looking down, because you see how vast your perspective is now. And you see that little dot there that represented anger. I can let that go. That represents shame. I can let that go. That represents depression. That represents sadness. That represents fear. I can let that go, which means get into the goodness of yourself. When I'm talking about goodness, I'm not talking about positive or negative. I'm not talking about light or dark. I'm just talking about the natural goodness that represents your authentic nature, that represents your authenticity. This is why I'm taking believers a question here, okay? Is because this applies to many of you, right? Is being able to get to the summit. And how do we get to the summit? We relax. We stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. We start doing that HRV breath, okay? We take it to the next level and we start doing Rachaka breathing, which is next beyond HRV. HRV is like level 1, level 2 is Rachaka. This is what you learn in the student training with me, okay? So I'm teaching you, again, a lot of different techniques that I do not teach publicly here on the channel that is on the student training. And I do that for a reason, because I'm basically turning you guys into spirit vessels. And I'm not doing that in this channel. You guys want to learn to be a spirit vessel, you got to go to the AetherX Academy, okay? Because that's what I'm doing with my students. I'm teaching them how to be complete, full-out spirit vessels, and their lives have changed dramatically. That's what I offer in the Academy, and that is what I will always continue to offer through the Academy. I will never teach it here on YouTube, okay? Because number one, I don't really know who my audience is. Number two, I haven't really talked to you personally, and I really need to have that kind of talk personally and getting to know you a little bit more, and the Academy allows me to do that. So again, and there's a reason why I have those things. There's a reason why I share it in this way, because I'm basically seeing the characters that are with me to bring themselves into spirit vessels, because you're going to do incredible things in your life that you just can't believe. And a lot of the things that you will learn to do in life can be something that can be tremendously beneficial, or it can be tremendously horrible, depending upon your character. And I have to get to know your character. And that's where the Academy comes in. All right. So that's just a reminder for those who want to join up with the Academy. I am teaching you things in the Academy that I will never teach on here. And I will never teach it on here. Right. There needs to be that particular type of privacy. There needs to be that group mentality of, again, helping you guys to develop yourselves to become spirit vessels. Okay. And it changes your life dramatically. All right. So a believer, that is what I can share with you. Hope everything goes well there. Okay. So again, look into the breath work, look into taking care of yourself physically, but also go to those higher levels, go to the summit and make the changes there. Okay. Okay, let's go down further here. I think I got everybody. Yeah, okay, I don't think I have any other donations. I have Z-Mens. Okay, just Z-Mens was the only donation. All right, so let's continue to go here. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, here's an interesting one here from Julie. Julie says, how much longer until we get New Earth phones and flying vehicles? New Earth phones. I don't know what a New Earth phone is. But I guess we could look into the idea of flying vehicles. Right? So how about we look at the tarot for that? Okay. So why don't we get a look at the tarot? I'll bring the tarot into the picture here. So again, thank you, Julie, for your question. Let's say flying vehicles. All right. So with the idea of flying vehicles, what I'm thinking she's referring to is more anti-gravitic technology. Right. When we look into anti-gravitic technology, when can we expect that to happen? So I'll take a look at the cards and see what the cards have to say about that. Because it's not just flying vehicles with chopper blades or anything of that nature, or using some particular type of combustion engines and that stuff. That's not futuristic at all. That's primitive Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon technology right there. Okay. So we're looking more into the idea of anti-gravitic technology and seeing exactly when that might come about on the planet. So let's take a look. Basically, the short answer to that is you got to get the corrupt out of the way. Okay, that's kind of like the short answer. Get them out of the way. New innovations will come about. Okay, you cannot have anti-gravitic technology with the corrupt running things. You cannot have anti-gravitic technology with the corrupt just throwing wrenches in the works and trying to control everything and trying to manipulate anything. There's a reason that they're not allowed to have anti-gravitic technology that can go into space travel. They're not allowed to use it, right? So basically a lot of that is locked down, and it's even being guarded by off-world forces as well too, okay? So we do have the technology. The technology is with us, but we do not have access to it. It's sleeping, okay? It's basically kept under vaults. It's kept in installations. It may even be kept in, again, on off-world property, so to speak, right? It may be in the hands of off-worlders as well too, okay? The past, like I said, is that there has always been that wanting, that desire for, again, anti-gravitic technology. And I think there was a point to where we were getting close to that, especially during Nikola Tesla's era, because he was looking to create things like that, anti-gravitics and all that stuff. It's really not that difficult to create. A lot of it, again, involves cymatics, involves, again, subtle vibrations, involves frequency, okay? Like I said, Nikola Tesla, his famous quote, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, look into energy, vibration, and frequency. And those are very much the mechanics to anti-gravitic technology. But there again, there have been people who have died. There have been people who have been killed off. There have been people who have been bought out. There have been people who have had their lives ruined because they've tried to create anti-gravitic technology to bring out to the world, and it's been heavily suppressed, okay? So the whole idea in that sense is that a lot of this technology is available, and there will be a point to where humanity will start to use it. But before that time, we have to get the corrupt out of the planet. We have to get the poison off the planet. Okay, the poison has to get off the planet, and it really is for a different generation. Okay, when we're looking at the next generation to come, which would basically be, for example, my grandchildren, right? Because I don't have any grandkids yet. But basically would be the idea of my grandchildren, right? That would be the generation, right? Maybe we call it Generation Alpha or Generation A or something of that nature, because we already have Generation Z. But it's basically following up after the next generation. Those are the ones who are going to be the innovators. And basically, you could say from the baby boomer generation all the way up into Generation Z, or Generation Z, whatever you want to call it, okay? Those are the ones who are the cleaners. Those are the ones who are the seed planters. Those are the ones who are the new stewards that are helping to seed a new world on this planet, okay? The generations that follow will be the ones who will be the builders, the innovators, the new leaders that are going to usher in a whole new future for humanity. When they grow up, when they start getting their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, they are going to be key innovators to the planet. They won't have to go through all the stuff that we've had to go through. We have basically tried to blaze a trail. It's these generations, from the baby boomers to Generation Z, that has to go through all of this stuff to witness cleanup happening, okay? Once cleanup is done, we're basically just plowing the fields. We're getting everything ready. We've tilled the soil. We've planted the seeds. And now a beautiful harvest is coming together. And then the next generation that comes together will reap the harvest. That's what we're here to do, right? That's the nature of our generations, from the baby boomers to Generation Z. That's what we signed up for, guys. You guys are the cleaners. You guys are the seed planters. You guys are the trailblazers. You guys are the ones who are getting the mop and the broom and the dustpan, right? The mop bucket, and we're cleaning house. That's what our generation is meant to do. We're the cleanup crew of this particular era. And then a new era comes born, and maybe many of you will be reborn into those eras where you'll have new innovations. And that is indeed a very exciting era as well, too. It's been quite exciting here as well, too. Whether we feel something's intense or I don't want to be here anymore, look at what you're doing. Look how you're continuing to pave a new future for your generations, for your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, your great-great-grandchildren. You're paving something very special for them. You're getting the poison off of this planet, so that they don't have to put up with it, so that they're not getting involved in a dystopian culture, so that they're not getting involved in totalitarianism government, so that they're not getting involved with dictators. That's our job for the current generations, to clean all that shit out, right? And it's going to be cleaned out, right? The Great Awakening leading into a much more pristine earth is inevitable, okay? It's inevitable, which means it will definitely happen. It will definitely take place. That's guaranteed, okay? But in order for us to get there, we have to get the grime, we have to get the slime, we have to get the filth, we have to get the debris, we have to get the poison, we have to get the toxicity off this planet. That's what's got to go. And that's where we're about to see here, is a massive and total, complete and total decontamination and detoxification of the planet Earth, because this is the cleanup decade. We're not even halfway through it yet, okay? We still got another 5 or 6 years of the cleanup decade to do here, and there's going to be a lot of cleaning up during that time, during the first part of the span of renewal, 2025 to 2036, 2037, the year of the new age, 2037, the year of climax, 2038, the year of the new age, right? And that's what's really going to shift things. That's almost like another 2012, okay? So we have a lot of cleanup to do in the meantime, and there's a lot of surprises that are going to be happening here in the times ahead. I can't say it'll be this summer, but it certainly will be within probably the next year or two, right? Where we're going to see a lot of transformations taking place, where we are going to see the truth being spilled out like wine hitting the floor, okay? A lot of you are very, very concerned about the idea of emergency broadcast system announcements, right? And I don't feel it's going to lead to an EBS, but I do feel like it is going to lead to announcements. I do feel it is going to lead to disclosure. I do feel it is going to learn to spilling of the truth, okay? And that the idea is that it's not going to be treated in the form of an EBS, but rather in that sense, an informed broadcasting system, okay? So I would refer to it much more as an informed BS, an IBS maybe, but that doesn't sound too good either. So there's EBS, but I want to call it IBS. People say, oh, bro, that's irritatory bowel syndrome. I think we've had quite a bit of irritatory bowels on this planet, but okay, information news systems, so an INS, right? There's going to be information news systems, which means, like I've talked about in the past, that the major networks are basically going to be completely scrubbed clean here. And there's going to be a movement to do that. And the news is just going to start changing one day. You guys are going to start seeing scripts that will be on the news that will completely blow your mind, to which you think, how the hell did they get that on the air? It's because you're seeing things changing, okay? There needs to be a little bit more cleanup on this end. There needs to be some more cleanup and letting the poisons out. Like I said, once those poisons start getting drained, you are going to notice that when you tune into CNN, when you turn into MSNBC, when you turn into Fox News, when you turn into all these different networks, they're going to be spewing scripts you never thought they'd be spewing, right? And they're basically complete and total data dumps. They're complete and total truth bombs. And we're going to be seeing that, okay? And I don't think we have too long to wait for that. Could be another year or so, or maybe less. We'll see, right? But that is really where things are going to change around. There's going to be, there may be some blackouts in certain areas of the planet as well too. Not all at once, but I feel like certain countries may have blackouts, and what those blackouts may mean may just represent, again, temporary rebootings of systems, right? So you may have certain countries that may be out of power for a short amount of time, but then it'll come back on because there's new rebooting systems. They're going to be bringing new systems online together that may also be under new electrical grids. You may have certain rebootings of networks that again may be under new types of servers or other new types of machinery that basically in that sense are not going to try and get interfered or meddled with by the corrupt side, right? A lot of these things are going to be shifting. A lot of these things are going to be changing as we get the filth, as we get the corrupt out of the planet. Then looking into Julie's question here about anti-gravitics, and we can start seeing a lot of that stuff happening, but it's not allowed to happen until the poison of the planet is out, and we have a lot of things to look forward to. It's really much a very exciting time, guys. There's going to be things that are going to be happening here over the next couple of years that you never thought would happen, right? That is just going to lead to announcements, that is going to lead to just the changing of things, how everything just kind of flips over and is overhauled, and seeing these incredible forms of news that's just like music to your ears. Oh my God, they're finally talking about this. Oh my God, they're finally bringing this information out. It took them so long to do this. And I see that. I see that very clearly. Like, Brad, did you tune in to see exactly what they said? Yeah, I did. So, oh my God, it's about time that they finally did that. I said, well, this is the cleanup that we're all responsible for, my friends. We are all responsible for this cleanup. And we are going to see those times where you can turn into something like CNN and they're actually telling you the truth. Wouldn't that be quite the sight to see, right? That is what you are going to see. But in order for that to happen, we got to clean up the planet. We got to clean up the poison that's here. As that happens, major things are going to change. Indeed. All right. Thank you very much, Julie, for your question. I know that was a long answer, but there's a lot of hidden stuff in that answer. That's what Spirit does. I basically tried to answer your question a certain way. Spirit has new surprises for me and gives you a boatload of information. Okay. This is kind of an interesting question here from Turn Up Every Day. Hi, Brad. Has Adronis told you what he thinks about RAYD8? He certainly has. But even I don't really care what anybody else thinks about RAYD8. But he certainly has. He has really said this is exactly what the world needs. This is exactly what I've been driven to, is to design something like RAYD8. They're very thrilled that something like RAYD8 has come upon the planet. And we're just getting started. Like I said, RAYD8 is just a baby. It's a newborn infant, right? There are years and years and years of promotion that need to happen with RAYD8, because I would love to see within the next few years hundreds of thousands of people having RAYD8 on their phone, hundreds of thousands of people having RAYD8 on their devices, right? So that really is the goal. And I'd like to see thousands of wellness centers, healing centers all over the planet using the industrial version of RAYD8, just like hundreds and hundreds of wellness centers all over the planet right now are using EE systems. Okay, I'd love to see EE systems and RAYD8 doing the same thing, right? And getting that out to centers, because this is what people absolutely require. And it's working together with that, together with everything else that's good, right? With good eating, with good exercise, with good meditation, with everything else that brings balance in life. Okay, and this is always an addition to your healing journey. It's not a replacement for anything. It's always an addition, because that's what AetherX has always stood up for. So yes, there's always been joy in regards to RAYD8. There's never been anything shunning the idea of it, because I'm seeing how this is helping people. I'm seeing people who are coming to me all the time and saying, Brad, this is a blessing. This whole technology is a miracle. It's transformed me, and my sinuses are clearing away. My backache is going away. My migraines are going away. My joint pain is going away, right? I'm getting more vitality in myself daily. This is just what I'm hearing from people already. And like I said, we're a newborn, right? RAYD8 is just about 3 weeks old right now. It is a baby, okay? So we got a lot more to do, and this is where I need your guys' help to spread the word about it, because like I said, you just download RAYD8 for free. And if you just want to use the free version, just use the free version, right? It's free. Can you guys show me any other scalar technology that's free on the planet? There isn't, okay? RAYD8's the only one. So please spread that out. Tell your family, tell your friends, tweet about it, Facebook about it, YouTube about it, right? Just get it out there. Let's work together and get this incredible technology out there, because there's a lot more a lot more to come. I'm going to be developing a whole new version of RAYD8 within the next few months. Okay, it's going to be called RAYD8 Focus. Okay, and that's meant to work together with the current technology of it. Okay, RAYD8 Focus is going to be working on one organ at a time, and in sequences as well too, to basically get more concentrated rejuvenation into concentrated areas of your organs. Okay, so there's going to be a new one called RAYD8 Focus. Okay, that's going to take some time to develop. I probably won't have that out for a few months, but that's going to be the next one that's coming. Okay, so I'm developing a new one that is also going to be adapted into the regen centers as well too. So there will be a compact version, and there'll be an industrial version of RAYD8 Focus as well too. So that, again, like I said, probably won't be until next spring, but I'll keep you guys updated with that. But really, it's just being able to concentrate on one organ at a time, one energy center at a time, everything. So it's deeper concentration, deeper focus of the RAYD8 technology on specific areas of the body. Okay, so that will be coming soon. Okay, all right, so here's one here from Samar. Samar says, can you do a reading on India for the month of June? Well, we're in the month of May. How about I do one for the month of May and into June? Okay, so why don't we do May and June all together? Okay, we just started May 1st right now. I don't know why you want June. So why don't we take a look at May and June and see what's ahead for India? Okay. Okay, let's take a look and see what we got here. Okay, we're going to probably take about 1 or 2 more questions, guys, and we're going to go into the earth healing meditation. Okay, so taking a look at what is ahead for India, like I said, for May and June. So this again represents the current, okay? Kind of represents the idea of unification, kind of represents the idea in that sense of the people coming together, okay? That's really what all of this represents right now, like I said, with many different countries that I've looked at throughout the past couple of years especially. All of these things are meant to happen to bring people together, to unify everything, okay? It almost feels like a new India is being born, okay? And then that's a good thing, okay? I'm not seeing anything horrible. I'm not seeing a devil card. I'm not seeing the tower. I'm not seeing anything in that nature pertaining to the situation, how things are going with India. It looks like things are moving in a right direction as it needs to, okay? Now, like I said, even if it's moving into a right direction, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get speed bumps, doesn't mean you're not going to get hurdles in the way, but nonetheless, what's taking place with India right now is going to lead into something better, okay? This is the past. So like I said, I think that we're seeing something pertaining to a new home, a new way of how India in that sense is going to come about, because it basically represents a country that is going to be different from pretty much any other country on the planet. It's not going to be Americanized, right? It's not going to be capitalized in that way. There are some portions of that in India, but that in the totality of it, its spirit is so strong. It is really being protected by the gods, right? There's really a celestial energy of India that is looking to be preserved. It's like if you're trying to pour poison in India, it's just going to flush right out, right? There is so much protection. There is so much nurturing of this sacred land, and it's going to continue that way, okay? There is certainly going to be attempts of wars. There's going to be attempts of fighting. There's going to be scare tactics. There's going to be all kinds of horrible situations that are going to try and unfold for India. And it is going to lead into the idea of a rebalancing, okay? But it's also going to lead into a renewal time for India, okay? So there are going to be scare tactics. There may be threats of wars. There may be threats of fighting. There may be threats of scuffles and all of that. But India is going to get through it. It's basically just all part of a mighty purge. Like I said, you pour poison into India, it's going to flush it out. And that's what's happening right now. It is a flushing out of the country's bowels that is taking place, okay? So again, during this time, there's going to be a lot of emotional upset. There is going to be a lot of, again, brother against brother, sister against sister, right? But in the end of things, everything is going to lead to right action, right renewal, right transformation, leading India into something that, again, it has, I think it's going back into its ancient roots again, right? If I really look at the idea of an independent country at some particular point, India would certainly qualify for that. Okay, so what's happening in May and June? Getting the poison out of your system, right? It's just basically we've seen the poison in India, and the immune system of India, representing the people, working to get that poison out of the system. So there could be some upheavals. There could be some fighting. There could be some scuffling going on with India in that way. And there's certainly going to be like the idea of two sides, right? One side may want to follow the side of technology and capitalism, and the other side is going to lead towards the natural spirit, the natural love that India has. And I would say the latter is going to get a lot more attention than the former, okay? But also with what's happening in India is also what's happening on the entire planet. It really comes down to that decision. Do I stay with the chaos, or do I move into the natural way, okay? And that's where we're going. This is what I talk about with repopulation, okay? Repopulation is all about the idea of splitting, of having a type of separation, okay? And the idea of splitting off into groups. We basically can summarize it in two ways, but it really isn't accurate to look at it that way, even though I use it for the sake of convenience. but you're looking at many different groups that are being split off in so many different ways altogether, right? You have groups, again, like I said, we have the religious groups, you have the atheistic groups, you have money hoarders, you have materialists, you have capitalists, you have communists, you have socialists, you have all these different types of groups in that sense, but they all kind of tie under the same kind of umbrella, which represents chaos, which represents chaotic disorder, okay? And then you have people who are empowering. Then you have people in that sense who are working together through the heart space, who want to help people, who want to assist people. And here's the good news. The majority of the people on the planet are like that, okay? They want to help people. They would never consider trying to make people starve. They would never try to impoverish people. They would never try to think of having millions and millions of dollars embezzled upon themselves where everybody else gets nothing and just starves to death. There's goodness on this planet, and it is in the majority, right? And it's those majority that, as the Bible says, the meek shall inherit the earth, right? That's really where we're going. And that is a prophecy that I would say is definite. So I see India, again, representing that. But like I said, this is also impacting the world in that way too, okay? Thank you very much, Savmar, for your question. Okay, guys, we're going to take one more question, then we're going to go into the healing. So I'm going to kind of see if I can find one more good one. Okay. Some of you guys are just so funny on this channel. Okay. Okay, this one here is from Burgundy Rose, and I think we'll end with this question, okay? And we'll get right into the guided meditation. So Burgundy Rose says, hi, Brad. Could Adronis give us any information about what David Wilcock calls the first wave of ascension in 2025? I haven't really looked into his stuff, so I can't really tell you what he says. But again, this is exactly what Adronis has just talked about in today's transmission, right? He talked about the idea that 2024 represents the end of a span of change. Okay, a span of change could also be seen like a span of cleanup, okay? And then you're getting into renewal, which is the second level of cleanup, okay? And that starts when? 2025, okay? I would not call it an ascension, though, okay? A lot of people use the word ascension like it just rolls off their tongue, right? And that's not what this is about. Everybody just wants to keep using that word, ascension this and ascension that, and ascension this and ascension that. Guys, we're nowhere near that. This is not about ascension, okay? People want to look at that. So there's ascension here and ascension here. We're going to turn into light beings, and we're just going to vanish off the planet in that sense. And the first person you talk about here is all about that, right? You got to be careful. You have to kind of put your BS-o-meters on with that, okay? It's not about ascension. Adronis has always used the word advancement, okay? Not ascension. And that's not what this is about. So I do not agree that this is an ascension path, okay? Like I said, if you're really looking into the nature of ascension, that is something that very few people actually walk, right? If we're looking at the ascension in the way of trying to say that that is what's representing advancement, then yes. But I have never called this a path of ascension. And a lot of people do that because it's a very new age, neo-Advaitin term, okay? Ascension this and ascension that, you're all going to turn to light beings, and something happens and there's a grand miracle in the sky and the angels come and pick us up and we just vanish off the earth. And guys, that's a bunch of crap, right? No offense, but that's a bunch of garbage. And I've been saying that for years, right? Even with people that are so gung-ho crazy about 2012, where you're going to turn into a light being and angels are going to come in and you're just going to vanish off the earth and you just leave your body behind and you go into paradise and blah, blah, blah. Sounds like a cult, right? And I said, guys, that's not at all what's happening. And I was so very new to this, even back in the day then. I said, guys, that's not what's happening at all, right? And I said, this is a path of advancement. This is a path of the soul. This is a path for ourselves to see, in that sense, how we work together with the planet, how we work together with each other, how we work together with life. Your journey is still going to continue. You are still going to have challenges. You are still going to have to make big decisions, okay? This is not a get out of jail free card, which so many experts think that this is what this is about. They're trying to give you some hopium about some gigantic quantum awakening. And that's not what this is about. It's, again, trying to rely on the time ahead as a savior. And that's ridiculous, right? There is no savior pertaining to the times ahead. Even when I've talked about 2038, that's not a savior. That's a marker. Okay. We look at 2024, 2025. Okay, that's a marker. Okay. We look at 2030. Okay, that's a marker. We look at 2038. Okay, that's a marker. That's not a get out of jail free card. Okay, where you just give up all of your inhibitions and the rest of the earth just takes care of your muck and garbage, and you can just bail yourself out. It's a bunch of stupidness, right? And I'm not coming down on anybody personally, but when I hear all this stuff, this disinformation campaigns, and I've heard them for years, and I said, guys, just be careful. What you're being sold all of this hope in to give you an intention of thinking that you have a get out of jail free card, preventing you from having to do the work that you need to do inside, right? And if you are ever being told that, then you're basically being talked to by a snake oil salesman, okay? Be very careful with that, because that's what this is. That's what this is not about. It's not about ditching your body, bursting into a thing of light, and just going off with the angels, okay? That's a bunch of crap, and it's a bunch of new age nonsense, and it's a bunch of neo-Advaitin garbage. Be careful. And that's nothing to do with anything I'm saying personally to a person. But as far as their information goes, it's complete and total bullshit, right? And I've said that for a very long time, for years. And I said, this is not an ascension journey. If you guys were on the path to ascension, you would not be here in the modern world. If you guys were on a path to ascension, you would be working with gurus. You would be working with indigenous people. You would completely throw away any and all attachments of the modern world altogether and move much more closer into the union of God. And hardly any of you are doing that. And I'm just being honest here, right? That's something that's even been challenging for me to get into that union with the divine, right? I'm still working on that myself. But if I truly gave myself to the absolute commitment to moving completely in the divine and unifying with the divine and going into these deepest states of samadhis, you guys would never see me again. That's ascension, okay? I would completely ditch everything here. I would not live in a house. I would not have a partner. I would not have a car. I would not have a vehicle. I would give myself completely up to nature. I would go live with the indigenous. I would go look for gurus. I would go sit with them, and I would basically completely and totally transcend any and all modern aspects and programming of myself and giving myself completely to God. And that would be the entire focus of my life. And that is the ascension path. That is not what we're doing here. Okay, this is an advancement path. And an advancement path is seeing what it looks like when you get out of corruption, what it looks like when you basically stand up against authority that represents suppression, oppression, totalitarianism, dystopian nature in that sense. It's helping you to see a bigger picture. So advancement certainly does have certain qualities, but it's not what you think. And everybody just keeps saying ascension this and ascension that and ascension this and ascension that. It's nothing to do with ascension, right? Ascension is the idea where you are completely and totally absorbing yourself back into the divine. It is absorption, right? You are absorbing yourself into the divine. And do you know how many people on this planet have actually achieved that? Maybe about 100, 150 people out of 8 billion. Okay? That is such a lower decimal point percentage that I can't even calculate. Okay? Maybe 100, maybe 150, maybe if I'm looking at it optimistically, 300. Okay? It is not a long list. And if we're basically just sticking around with modern society and thinking that I'm going to have an ascension experience while in modern society, while I'm still worried about my bills, while I'm still worried about my house, while I'm still worried about my family, you are deluding yourself completely, okay? Because ascension is absorption. It is absorption into the divine. You throw everything away. Everything gets discarded. And all that matters is God. All that matters is the union of the divine. All that matters is who and what you truly are. And hardly anyone's on that path. Hardly anybody, right? Maybe a few that you may find if you go off into the East. People that live in the modern world, like guys, I'm not even on that path, right? I certainly had the option to move into that path. Is this something that I want to do? And I've talked about this before. I've had this discussion before with you guys on previous episodes, that I had a choice, that I could have basically just thrown all this away, turned off my YouTube channel, turned off everything that I was doing, get rid of everything, sell everything off, and maybe just get a trailer, go off into the bush, or maybe go to India, or go to certain areas in that sense and completely go into self-union. I had that option. And I said, no, I'm here to work together with the modern people, right? To help out with the modern world, to work together in my own way of how I can approach this and help that. So I had that decision. And if I did make that decision, guys, and I'm just being flat out honest here, you would never see me again, right? I would basically just disappear without a trace. I would throw away identification. I would throw away everything, and nothing would remain. Now, if I chose that, that would be an appropriate thing to say, oh, Brad follows the ascension path. Okay. That's the moksha path. That's the liberation path. That's the ascension path right there. Okay. And that person would basically get into such a state of training and development of themselves that they would basically decide on the day and on the time when they would leave the earth. And that's what we call Mahasamadhi, right? And that's not my journey at all, right? My journey from what I have chosen. And guys, I have chosen this. This is not saying, okay, well, God's forced you to do this, and so this is what you got to do. No. You are able to choose, okay? And I have chosen to be here, and I've chosen to work together with people when I had that option to do the other, right? To throw everything away and for me to never come back to this again. And I said, no, I want to be here. I want to help out. Okay. So that's an ascension path. And I don't know how to make that any clearer. But like I said, I've had so many people, New Agers, just talking, Brad, what about ascension? What about ascension? Where we're going to turn to light bodies. We're going to be home with the angels and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, it's not to say that you're not going to experience that when you're done here, right? And you can go home to angels. You can go home to loved ones. You can go home to the highest forces of love, depending on that sense about where you feel you are, depending on the choices that you make, the decisions that you make. You can certainly do that. But while you're here in this body, you're learning about life. You're learning about humanity. You're learning about the animals. You're learning about nature. You're learning about the human systems. You're learning about the greater systems that are unfathomable. That's the key here, right? And it really is that when you are able to come to terms with yourself, you will absorb everything. You will absorb everything within the universe. But if we're just completely compelled to think that through hopium that we get by somebody telling us that we're going to have some sort of ascension path, and we're just going to burst into a flash of light while we're still here to do work, by the way, no, you are deluding yourself and you're getting completely high off hopium. So there you go. That's my reply to that question. Okay. And like I said, nothing to do with the person personally. I'm sure David Wilcock's a wonderful person. But again, that information that he's been spewing pertaining to ascension, he's been doing that since I think he's come on the internet. You guys got to be careful. A lot of people follow him because he's so charismatic. He's charismatic. He knows how to talk, right? And like I said, he's a good guy. I've met him in person, right? He's a very sweet guy. He's a loving guy. He's wonderful. But he just has this mentality of thinking that there's an ascension path. And if I talk to Archangel Michael, there's an ascension path that's going to happen here. And then we're just going to burst into light beings and we're out of here. No, because it doesn't work that way. And David, you're a researcher. You should know this. It doesn't work that way, right? You have to completely let all of this go. If you ever wanted to be on ascension path, you have to let all of this go. This can't stay because that is an anchor that you're carrying. Everything's got to go, right? Everything pertaining to your work, everything pertaining to your identity, everything pertaining to your family, everything pertaining to that which makes up the earth life has to go. It needs to be absorbed back into the ether, right? That's the true path. That's the ascension path. And that's not where we're going, guys. Adronis has always talked about the advancement path, never the ascension path, okay? So that's my own 2.5 cents about the whole situation. Okay, so having said that, I think that's the best way to end up with the questions for today. And Van on Nguyen, thank you very much for your donation. Appreciate that. I don't think I got a question from you, but I appreciate the donation anyways. I'm just checking to make sure there's no other donations. I think we're okay. Yep, okay. So Van, thank you again. So we're going to go ahead now and move into earth healing meditation. I didn't get a earth visual. Usually I put an earth visual when we do an earth meditation, but we'll have to do without that today. Okay. So for those of you who want to join me, we're going to, again, go into the astral state, and we're going to feed that love upon the planet. A very, very simple approach, but we're going to do that through the state of guided meditation. Okay. So all I want you to do right now is just, if you're seated in your chair, just keep your spine nice and straight, and just keep the abs tightened a little bit. Okay. If this represents the full sucking in of your gut, I just kind of want you just to do this. Okay. Just a little bit of a tightening of the abdominal muscles. Just like that, okay? And just keeping that there, because what this is doing, this is forming an equilibrium with the pranic energy contained within your chest, your immune system, okay? And that's really what's going to help you. This is what's known as Uddiyana Bandha, okay? When you keep those abs tightened, that's keeping all of the prana here in the chest. It's keeping you strong, and it's basically helping you to elevate yourself to the higher levels as well, too. So not only is it benefiting your immune system, benefiting your vitality, but it's also helping you to stay attuned into the higher channels. So this is like a tongue lock for your abdomen, right? Doing a navel lock here, right? We're not going to be doing a chin lock. We're not going to be doing Kachari Mudra or anything of that nature, but just keeping the abs tight, okay? That's your lock, and that's what's keeping you aligned to the higher vibrations, okay? So spine nice and straight. We're going to do a few deep breaths of Rachaka, okay? So 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out through the nose. So into the nose, out to the nose. Like I said, this is level 2 past HRV. Working with Rachaka, 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out. So we're going to do 6 of these all together, okay? So ready? Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last one, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and relax. Just let everything relax. You can let go of the lock. You can let go of the navel lock, the Uddiyana, okay? And I want you now just to feel the presence of yourself. Do not concerned about feeling your environment. I want you just to feel the presence of your own body, okay? Just from the bottom of your feet and following your awareness all the way up the legs, all the way up the waist, all the way up the abdomen and the chest, the arms, the shoulders, the throat, the head, just feeling yourself in entirety representing the body. And I want you now just to focus on the breath as you're breathing naturally, okay? Doesn't have to be any special breathing here. Just breathing naturally. I want you just to be aware of that. And as you feel yourself breathing out, I want you to feel like the astral body is becoming a lot more in your awareness as you take an exhaling breath. As you breathe in, as you breathe out, Feel like that breath is touching your astral body, your transient body, your dream body. And as that exhaling breath touches your astral body, I want you to feel like you are doing phantom movements. Okay? So with yourself, again, seated in your chair, and you're not moving a muscle with any of these things, with any of these upcoming commands, okay? I want you to move your right hand without moving a muscle, okay? So just feel like a right phantom hand is moving up and down, up and down, up and down. And now I want you to feel like your right hand, from your fingers and your hand right to your elbow, is moving left to right without moving a muscle. Left to right, left to right. And now, using your right phantom arm, raising the right phantom arm above your head without moving a single muscle. Raising the right phantom arm above your head without moving a single muscle. And then raising it back down. Bringing it back down, I should say. Okay, same thing with your left hand now. Just with your left hand, using your phantom left hand, not moving a single muscle. Moving it up and moving it down. Moving it up, moving it down. Up and down. Up and down. And then with your left arm, from the fingertips, from the hand, all the way to the elbow, just moving it from the left and to the right. Phantom left arm, from the fingers and the hand to the elbow. Left and right, phantom movements. And now, your entire left arm, your left phantom arm, raising it above your head without moving a muscle. Keeping it above your head without moving a muscle. And bringing it back down. Now we're going to do the same work with our feet, starting with our right foot. Taking the phantom right foot, moving it up and down. Up and down, not moving a muscle. No muscle movement. Up and down, up and down. From the knee of your right leg, extending the right leg from the knee, up and down. No muscle movement. Up and down, up and down. Now with the entire right phantom leg, moving it left, then right. Left, then right. No muscle movement. Now moving on to the left leg, the left foot. Again, phantom movement of the left foot, up and down, up and down. No muscle movement. Up and down. And from the knee of the left leg, moving it up and down. No muscle movement, phantom movement only. And now the entire left leg, phantom left leg, left to right, left to right, left to right, no muscle movement. And now, keeping your phantom body at ease just for a moment. And now I want your phantom body to stand up from your chair. Having your phantom body standing up from your chair without any muscle movement. feeling your phantom body rising up from the chair. And I want you just to be aware of your phantom body right now. And I want you to feel your phantom body getting bigger, expanding past your home, getting bigger and bigger, expanding past your town or city, getting bigger and bigger, expanding past the region of your land, a province, a state, an island, just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Where your feet are now covering the massive land masses of the earth, and you are now able to stand tall and just see the earth directly in front of you as if she was the size of a basketball. Where you have increased the size of your phantom astral body so that you can hold the earth in the palms of your hand. I want you just to be aware of the size of your phantom body right now. I want you just to test out your phantom body while you're this size, right? Gripping your fingers, rotating your wrists, rotating your head, okay? Rotating your shoulders, rotating your hips, getting complete and full realization of the control that you have over your phantom body, because its controls are identical to that of your physical body. And now, as the phantom body, just placing both of your hands upon the center of the chest and tuning into the heart. And I want you to think of one delightful thought that the earth herself has given you. That when you look at the earth, what one single delightful thought comes into your awareness just when you look at the earth herself? I want you to catch that thought. Just that one single delightful thought that the earth gives to you as you think about her herself. Not about the life on her planet, but just about her. I'm not talking about humans. I'm not talking about animals. I'm talking about the earth herself. A delightful thought, a single thought that the earth gives you. I want you to take that thought right now, just like you're holding it as a small marble, and I want you to expand it inside the heart, like it's becoming a world itself, that you're seeing it in its basketball-sized state, just like the earth. You're seeing its expansion. You're expanding that delightful thought that the earth has given you. And with that sphere that is contained inside your heart, that is now the same size as the earth is before you, like a basketball, you're now seeing a cord coming out of the heart that is connected to that thought sphere. And that thought sphere is now plugging in directly into the center of the earth. Her center, her hyperboloid, her stillness in the center of the earth. For if you go into the center of the earth, all you will find is stillness. And that's what you're plugging into. Just like that. And that is what's being delivered to her center. Everything that represents this beautiful, delightful thought that the earth has given you, guiding with your hands. I want you to feel that love energy is flowing through that cord and going directly into her center now. Just guiding by the hands, just like you're motioning a wave of love flowing through the cord. And you're seeing it flow through the cord. And you're seeing it reach her center. And once you see that, just keep your hands in transmission posture. You've guided the way for the cord. You've guided the way for the love energy to come into her center. And now I just want you to stay in transmission posture and just let all of that love continue to flow through that thought, that delightful thought that the earth has given you, and fill her entire heart, fill her entire being with that loving, delightful thought as your gift to her. We will now take 2 minutes of silence and just be with her in this moment. Let us now begin. And taking a deep breath in now and a deep breath out. And with all of that love energy that you have sent to the Mother Earth, just feeling that cord now starting to retract back into your own heart, because that delightful thought that you have between yourself and the earth is your gift. It is the gift that she has given you, and it is the gift that remains in the heart. But everything that represents the love that surrounds your gift is the gift that you are giving to the heart back to your mother. All right? So let's take another deep breath in. Deep breath out. And now just starting to feel the phantom body, starting to shrink back down again, starting to go back down to the surface of the earth, starting to reduce its size as it returns now back into your home, as it now returns back into the phantom body that shrouds your body physically. And I want you just to take a moment now, take a moment of love and appreciation, take a moment of blessing, take a moment of prayer. Take a moment for all this love that you have given to the earth, for all of this love will go towards all of the children upon her surface, the humans, the animals, the vegetation, the plants, nature, the mineral kingdom, the elements, all of it too shall receive this loving blessing that has come directly from your heart into the heart of the mother and to all of her children within her being. One last deep breath in, inhale, exhale, and when you are ready, you may return. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining me today for the Wisdom Transmission Gathering. So like I said, I will not be available tomorrow for signposts. So again, I'll be back next week for that. But again, thank you for this broadcast. Just got a lot of stuff I have to take care of this week. And I look forward to speaking to you again very soon. Like I said, I'm not going to be having a classroom for the AetherX Academy this Saturday, the introduction. That is going to be to the next Saturday. Okay. So again, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the day wherever you are in the world. Blessings to you all. Take care, and may it be well with you. Bye for now.